morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies. Nick's over here doing a happy dance. You know those days when you're testing things new and you're just excited that they work. That's what just happened here. You didn't see that, but that's what happened. That's what made me laugh. We are so excited that you're joining us. Thank you for joining us. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
I think I had to tell you several times that yesterday was not Monday. Are you feeling like it's a Tuesday? Because, yeah, it's that kind of week. But I don't know where I was going with that.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm Lindsay.
There you go.
Yeah. Hi.
And what's the name of the show?
I said welcome to Coffee and Cookies.
There you go.
Wow.
Yes.
Somebody wasn't listening.
No, it wasn't. I was doing all the technology stuff. So here we go, right? The happy dance was we are officially on Facebook, my profile, Facebook, my business page, or the Coffee and Cookies official business page.
Yes.
And we are YouTube live. What? So the only one I haven't been able to verify yet is whether or not we're on Instagram live, which I'll be able to check after the show because I want to spend some time with you guys, right? So welcome to Coffee and Cookies. You met my beautiful co-host, Lindsay.
Oh,
my name is Nick, and we got some things to talk about today. And you want to know what Lindsay did to me? You ready for this? Are you ready? Like, I'm all set, ready to go. And I'm like, here's our topics of the day. And she goes, Nick, you ever notice, and I'm sorry. Here we go. Ready? I say, sometimes it's hard being a visionary because you get squirrel syndrome, right? Like everything's a good idea. Like you want to check out every idea. You want to test things. And it's like distraction. And she's like, oh, what did you say, Lindsay?
I said I wonder if all kids that are labeled as ADD or ADHD are actually visionaries. Because that's their biggest thing is like people that have ADD as an educator, my understanding is that people that are diagnosed with ADD or ADHD have like super squirrel syndrome, or they have a hard time sitting still. And like sitting still, maybe, I don't know if that's a problem for you or if that's something you struggle with. I don't have a problem sitting still. I'm not a visionary. I don't have that
You're
problem.
What?
I'm
You're
an
what?
integrator.
You're an integrator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a visionary. I hate sitting still.
And you do. You sit, you stand, you sit. I can sit all day at my desk and I'm fine. It's probably not healthy for me. I should probably be standing more often. But I don't have that I have to stand up feeling like some people get. And so, yeah, that's what happens when you just...
But here we go, right? Like I've never thought of it that way. So I do remember being at the doctor's office. Okay, so just everyone, split screen just happened. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do remember being at the doctor's office and the doctor saying that. I remember the doctor talking to my mom and saying, Nick may have a case of ADHD. And I remember going through MEPS and them asking that question, whether or not I had that. And I do remember my mom receiving a prescription to give me some kind of medication that I wouldn't have taken anyway, because I'm just not going to do it. But it brings a good point. So let's talk kids for a minute. Okay. There's a book out there called Traction. And the Traction, what it does is it breaks everyone up into one of two people. You're either a visionary or you're an integrator. Okay. Now, can you be a little of both? Absolutely you can. But you have a default.
Right.
Okay. Now, visionary is someone who's constantly trying to think outside the box, constantly coming up with new ideas. They're really good at leading the company. They're great at starting projects. They lack always finishing the projects. They lack always getting all the details perfect, right? An integrator is someone who likes being in their box. They like
That's my default.
that's their default, right? They like their checklist. They love their details. We call Lindsay, I don't know who Lindsay is.
I don't
know
either.
who Lindsay is. We call Lindsay CB. She's creative bougie. She will see that some little thing, some part of the design is off by like 3 or 4 pixels, and she'll go in and fix it because it has to be perfect. That's how she's wired. I can start a project and Lindsay makes it pretty. Okay, that is her detailed mindset. Now, where integrators have some little faults in that is they have sometimes a hard time thinking outside the box, coming up with the new ideas and creating that vision.
Yes.
Now, traction, read the book. Don't just take my words for it, okay?
So let me just integrators, usually we can understand the vision that you're seeing, but our default is, okay, how do we make that work? How do we get to that step? And you're not even to that point yet. So that's where my struggle is in our conversation sometimes when we're talking about the vision of the company is, okay, well, what do I need to do right now to climb that ladder to get us there when we're like, oh, this is the 30th floor and right now we're on level 10.
Right.
Like,
there you go.
Not there yet.
So someone else who's an integrator in my life is my wife, Amber. Okay. So read this book, Traction. Okay. Everyone is one of 2 people. They're a visionary or an integrator. They have a default. Now, here's why this is important. Imagine if you could look at a classroom of kids and you could pick out who's the visionaries, who are the kids that are going to think outside the box, who are the kids that are going to, take normally visionaries are natural leaders, not situational leaders. Normally they're natural leaders. Normally your integrators are situational leaders. Okay. This is a norm. I'm going very broad statement here. Okay. But if you could look at a class and go, great, I know these kids are going to start this project really well, and they're going to need a little extra help to get this project done later on. That's me. Okay. And
integrators are actually not good at starting. Like they have a hard time getting started on projects, but they can finish them out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I was teaching at UTA and I was talking with some soon to be entrepreneurs. And we were talking about, okay, do you remember the kids that were always the natural leaders? They always wanted to take charge. They were always like trying to set the direction, trying to get things in alignment. And they were kids, so they didn't always get it perfect, but they tried to get the class moving in the same direction, right? Or they tried to get their team moving in the same direction. And then you had, and you want to know what? They failed maybe at finishing the project, and kids would make fun of them for that, right? And then you had the other kid, and this kid was the one who always had their checklist. Right? They were always taking really detailed notes. Great, we got this done. Now we can move to the next topic. Now we move to the next topic. Now we move to the next topic. Right. And then some kids would make fun of that kid because they were the checklist kid. Okay? So if you can figure out, if you read this book, Traction, you can figure out if you're a visionary or an integrator, and you can take that and now figure out if your kids are visionaries or integrators, and you can understand their mentality. Here we go. You ready for this? That whole ADHD?
Gone.
It's gone. Here's why. If you understand that your kid is a visionary, they're a high energy visionary, you now know, okay, this kid's a visionary. Here's how I need to guide them. Read the book Traction. If your kid's an integrator, and I'm a visionary, and one of my daughters, I can see it already. She's an integrator. She likes her list. I can't talk to her like a visionary.
Right.
Okay. So something else that this book did is it changed my marriage. My wife is an integrator. I'm a visionary. Ooh, new idea. Let's go do it. Right? And my wife's like, oh my God, please don't do that. Right? She's like, no. Hold on. I need to have a plan so I feel good. When we go on a trip, I need to have a plan. Before, Nick, you go decorate a room, I want to see the plan. And hey, can we start creating a plan of the day? Okay? So what I started doing is instead of surprising my wife does not like surprises. Okay? She's an integrator. Is I started saying, hey, honey, this is the direction I'd like to go. Let's talk about this in a couple of days and let's put a plan together. And it was like overnight, our marriage changed because I took my visionary mentality, but I spoke to her as she is wired as an integrator. Now, I can already see in the comments right now, like, oh, love languages. Oh, this, disc theory, disc personality assessment, and, the other personality. No. I don't need you to go all the way down that direction. One of two people. This very much simplifies it. Mm-hmm. If you can figure out if a person's a visionary or an integrator, you can start to talk to them in their language without understanding all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The worst thing I can do to Lindsay is show up in the morning and go, Lindsay, I'm going to change all the topics that we planned on.
Which he did this morning.
Which I did. I absolutely did. Yeah. I absolutely did. Because as I was thinking through this, I was like, oh, this really doesn't mess with that. And let's think outside the box and da-da-da-da-da-da. And did I leave some of the topics? I absolutely did. But then Lindsay got me today. She's like, hey, did you ever think that maybe like visionaries might have a more of a higher case of ADHD? And people just don't know how to... Not that they don't know how to identify.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Many educators are not visionaries. Many educators are integrators.
Which makes absolute sense.
And they don't know how to handle the high energy of a visionary because they don't know they exist. You can't fit a visionary into a checkbox, which is what they struggle with.
And if you do, your visionary will shut down. Mm-hmm. If you do, if you take a personality like mine, if you take someone who enjoys creating vision and you say, I need to do every little detailed work, I need you to do this checklist, the exact same checklist every day, which an integrator would love, I'm going to shut down.
I think we need to write a book about this for kids.
Right?
For schools, teachers.
And here's how I know this. Nick, how do you know that? How do you know that? I know that because I've been in that position. Mm-hmm. I have been stuck in a cubicle where I was not allowed to create, where I was not allowed to set vision, where I was not allowed to lead, where I was not allowed to use my 1%, and I was told to do an integrator's job. Now, hear me on this. Can a vision be an integrator? Yes. Can an integrator be a visionary? Yes. But where
it's draining.
It's draining
when you jump out of your default because
it is.
It's not how you're naturally wired. It's like it's like running at 100% for 24 hours. Well, for more than 24 hours as the other person just within like an hour. That's how much it like it's just if you're an hour in your other personality or however
in your default
if you're out of your default for an hour, it's like 24 hours at 100%, and it's just draining.
It is draining.
It is.
I have tried to be an integrator and it doesn't work.
I've tried being a visionary. It's draining.
It's draining because that's not how you're wired. So what you're doing is you're taking these kids, and I'll go a step further. You're taking these adults and you wonder why they're unhappy at work. Have you sat down and read the book Traction and started to figure out very easily, oh, this person's an integrator. Oh, this person's a visionary. I do this in when I was a W-2 employee, okay, when I worked for someone, I sat down and go, that person's an integrator. That person's a visionary. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's why they want it that way. And I could start to see why they wanted things done why this person wanted things done this way, why this person wanted things done this way. And you want to know what? When I was forced to be an integrator, it was an absolute drain. I would come home from work and be absolutely drained. However, the second I would hop into my visionary role, it was like, here we go. You ready for you video game peepers? It was like you leveled up. It was like you have that 1 pixel of health left. And then all of a sudden you got that little health grab and it's like, and boom.
You're excited and you're in your mode and you just got things going on. Like
you hit your flow.
Yep. Yeah.
It just so when Lindsay, you guys are hearing a lot of conversation right now. So when Lindsay said this, I literally had a moment where I sat there and I just stared because my brain went into like 300 different directions of going, oh my goodness.
Like I just broke Nick.
I am broken. Oh, hold on. Wait, let me think. I think this one does it. Oh, we can't hear it. Okay, that stinks.
Is it because they're not?
Hold on.
There you go.
I got a new toy. Don't worry, I'm not going to overuse that. But it's just great to know that I have this. So next time we have a guest and we introduce themselves, we're going to do a little.
Maybe not the laughing one. Maybe the clapping one.
There we go, right? Yeah. There's even a very whimsical.
Anyway.
So, but think about it. Like seriously, look at the people around you. If you have not read the book Traction, I will put this book in the comments. And understand, when I put links in the comments, they're not affiliate links. I'm not trying to make any money off you, okay? I need you to grow. Mm-hmm. America needs you to grow. And here we go. If you live in Texas, Texas needs you to grow, okay? This world, this country, this state, this city, the people that are in your sphere of influence, label it down to the kids in your household, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever you're doing life with, those people need you to grow. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make this real easy for you. You need to read the book Traction, and then after that, you need to figure out the people around you are visionaries or integrators, and then start tailoring how you speak to them in their language, and you will change the people around you in a positive way that will not just benefit you, but it will benefit them. And they will look at you. They will look at you and they will be like, how did you know to speak to me that way? And then you get to share this. You get to invest into them and you get to help them be better. Might drop, leave.
I'd really like to reach out. I'm going to reach out to my old teacher friends and see if they'll implement this in their classes and their projects and their group projects, and put a visionary with an integrator and see how well they do. So, as opposed to like a visionary with a visionary, absolutely, or an integrator with an integrator.
So, and it's very interesting because in the book Traction, they talk about how the successful companies, the companies that make it, mm-hmm, have a visionary integrator combination.
Yes.
Okay. And you want to know what? If you want to know stories, I got stories. I have hired other visionaries not knowing they were visionaries because I didn't know what I didn't know, right? I was, mm-hmm, unconsciously incompetent. I did not know what I did not know. Okay. And I was like, man, why can't I get my company to scale? Why are projects not getting done? Right. And the reason being is I was hiring other visionaries, hiring other people like me. Mm-hmm. I don't need people like me. I'm enough. I have enough energy.
It takes 2 integrators to handle that. Just saying.
You're actually speaking truth right now. I have 2 integrators in my life. I have one at work and I have one at the house. And you want to know what? I could not function any other way. Like I am so spoiled. Mm-hmm. I am so spoiled. If you're a visionary and you do not have an integrator in your life, you don't know what you're missing. And if you're an integrator and you don't have a visionary helping move you forward, you don't know what you're missing. You are missing out.
Go ahead.
No.
No.
I heard that.
No. Go ahead, please.
You were missing out on probably one of the best relationships. And I'm not talking about like a romantic relationship. I'm not even talking about like a business relationship. Like some of the best friendships that I have are with integrators. And some of the best friendships that I have are with visionaries. But I know how to tailor the conversation depending on who's around me.
I would actually challenge anybody that's single and dating right now or looking for somebody is to figure out who you are, because you need that compliment to really drive your family to that next level. Because if you have 2 visionaries or 2 integrators, one of them is going to be outside of their comfort zone to make your family keep growing. So if you just keep that in mind when you're looking for that other person, because it's just different. It changes how you see things.
And it gives you perspective. If you're an integrator and you have a visionary around, they're going to help you see things that you don't see. And if you're a visionary and you have an integrator around, they're going to show you details you didn't even know existed.
Right.
Like it happens all the time in my life.
There's different levels of each of those. So, just be aware.
Just be aware. Be aware. All right. So that's it with the visionary integrator stuff. We're going to talk about, hey, kids are back to school today. The routine is back.
I'm so excited for some routine. Integrator
for the win. Now here we go though, right? Like something that I could do as a visionary and something that I did not realize. I didn't realize. So my wife is an integrator. She likes her routine, right? Mm-hmm. But who needs to help create the routine?
The visionary.
The visionary. The visionary say, hey, sweetheart, the kids are off for the next 2 weeks. Let's put together a plan so we
Right.
know on Monday we're going to do puzzles. On Tuesday we're going to go to the park. On Wednesday morning we're going to do this. On Thursday morning. So that way the integrator can integrate and execute the plan.
Right. Mic drop.
No, it's not just a mic drop. Hear me on this, okay? You are. I did not learn about this till I was 38 years old. Okay, so I am giving you the cheat code to relationships. That is simple. I am giving you the cheat code to being successful in business or being successful in your work environment.
But, I think it's interesting because a lot of people would see or read that book and just be like, oh, well, this only pertains to business. But it doesn't.
It doesn't. So I was actually out to lunch. No, yeah, it was lunch with your husband and another friend of ours. And this friend,
Y'all went to lunch?
this was
Oh,
a long
a
time
while
ago.
ago.
This was probably about a year ago.
remember this.
No, you're good. So this was about a year ago, and he was talking about. We were talking about the book Traction, right? Because I'm a visionary, and both your husband's an integrator, and this other individual's an integrator, and this other individual, his wife is a visionary. Okay, and they were really, really butting heads inside the household. Okay. And he was like, I don't get it. I was like, stop talking to her like an integrator.
Yep.
She's a version of me. She's a visionary. Okay. If she wants to lead the household, see, here's the direction I want to go. So something they do is property flipping. Okay. Here's the houses that I want to buy. Here's the quality of life that I want. Here's the savings account. Here's the kids where I want to go to school. If you have a woman who's a visionary, okay, and please hear me on this, let her set the vision.
Right.
Because here's the thing, you as a male integrator, the vision's not going to happen without you. You still have to be present. You still have to be part of that. You still have to figure out, great, honey, I hear where you're wanting to go. And this does not mean that she's the leader of the household. But what I'm saying is she's still setting the vision. That's great, right? If you're a male integrator, having a female as a visionary will help move you. But hear me on this, okay? You as a male integrator, you're going to be able to get your checklist in. You're going to be able to integrate and you're going to be able to make it happen. Okay?
Male or female.
Correct. But a lot of people be like, oh, the male has to be the visionary, the female has to be the integrator. Okay, that's I hear this. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not saying that's what I believe.
So,
I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm telling you. I hear this from the people that are within my sphere of influence.
Sure.
And I want to make sure that I just say, no, that's not right. You can have a female visionary and a male integrator, and that relationship will actually work so well.
So something interesting, just personal about me, is my husband is more integrator than I am. So it's easier for me to flip to the visionary when I'm at home than it is for my husband to flip to that visionary. So when I'm in the office, I'm the integrator. And when I go home, I'm the visionary. And I let him have his doer, let's get this done mode,
Which he's awesome at.
He is so good at it, and he blows me out of the water. So
his attention to detail and like Dustin is so consistent. He's consistent.
He's very consistent.
You can say, here's the plan of the day,
right?
And you can walk away. It's going to get done. It's going to get done, and it's going to look.
And it's probably going to get done before noon.
Maybe you put an 8-hour time limit on it. He got it done in 6, and you want to know what? It's going to be perfect.
Yes,
It's going to be perfect. But
Yes.
hear this, right? He still needed the direction set. Okay. He still needed someone say, here's the direction we're going in.
this is what we need to accomplish today.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you can watch it. You can watch it kick in. You can watch the checklist. Like I wish I could like take a hologram of his brain. Like we say, Dustin. Yes, yeah. Like, hey, here's what we need to get done today, or because he's gonna be a leader on the Mighty Man, right? And one of the reasons, because he's consistent, he's great at checklists. You say, Dustin, here's the direction we're going. And you can see his brain kick in and go, okay, I need to get this done.
What we need to do.
And boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Yep. So and it's not as draining in different situations. Like being a visionary for here is draining for me because I am so out of my element. But being a visionary at home is not unnatural. Do you know does that make sense? Like it's not as difficult for me to switch to my visionary when I'm in the home setting than it is when I'm here in the business setting. So just understand that it's different for different situations. And
you can switch between the two. Just understand it's going to drain you.
Right.
Okay. And here's why you feel like, oh, I can switch between the two and it's not going to drain me. Yes, it is. And if you don't see it, you are unconsciously incompetent because everyone around you is going to know it. When you are out of your default, okay, when you are out of the way that God has wired you to either be a visionary or integrator, when you're out of that, you may think that you're handling it well. The people around you will notice. Okay, so don't be arrogant. Be humble.
And
be humble.
It doesn't mean that you can't grow in that area.
Oh, absolutely,
for sure. So,
but just don't be arrogant about it.
Right.
Okay.
Just
be humble. Be aware. Be consciously
like
competent. Seriously, be consciously competent. I know that I don't know, or I know that I'm working on this. Right?
So speaking of things that you know or don't know, let's talk about text messaging.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Lindsay, you're great with your segues today. So text messaging. Here we go, right? Before you send a text message,
let's just...
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Before you send the text message, I want you to take a deep breath and think about how could this be perceived?
Think about who are you talking to?
And who are you talking to? Okay. And here's why. A situation happened yesterday where there's a group text and one of the individuals typed something. And
so vague right now.
Huh?
So vague right now.
I know I'm being vague because I'm not gonna call people out, right? There's no reason for that. But you as the audience need to understand this. This person typed into this group text chat, and immediately the text chat shut down, right? And this person thought that what they said was funny, but on the receiving end, it came off as angry. Okay. And the reason why this happened when you're in a text message, okay, and the reason why it came off as angry was the other individuals were in their work or they were in a currently high stressful situation. So what may have come off normally as funny,
right,
came off as negative.
Well, here's the other thing. You are putting, when you read your text messages, you're putting the inflection into the voice. You're hearing a voice in your head. Like it's not, and depending on what you're filled with right now. So if you're filled with stress, it's going to not come across the same way.
Correct. And you see that in text messaging, you see it in Twitter, you see it in Facebook, you see anywhere where there's text and there's no voice attached to it. If I send you a text message and you're having a bad day, you could interpret that text message the complete wrong way.
Right.
Okay.
Happens all the time.
Which happens
all the time.
It really does happen. So, hey, here we go. You ready? I'm about to blow your mind here. There's this thing called a phone and you can call people on it.
What? What
and
does
here's
it
why
do?
that's so important.
It's like fire.
It's like fire. If I send you a text message and you read it and you're putting your own voice inflection on it, right? Or here, let's go the opposite way. Let's say you put something into a text message and it's meant to be stern, or it's meant to be slightly aggressive, or it's meant to be disciplinary, but I'm in a happy-go-lucky mood. I'm like, ha, 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 who cares? Like, oh, this person's trying to be funny or cute, right? Again, wrong. Because I'm putting my voice on it. But if you call me and I hear your voice and I hear your passion, whether it's happy, angry, or your emotion, not passion, your emotion on it, then I actually know. You've taken all the guesswork out. And here we go. You ready? This is why you need to start talking to people. You need to get on the phone. Stop the text messaging. Especially if it is an important topic. Get on the the phone. Stop hiding behind the keyboard. Okay? Because, and here's why I say that. Here's why I say that. Stop hiding behind the keyboard because you're like, oh no, this might be an uncomfortable conversation. Grow up. You're an adult.
Are they? Are we?
Well, I am. Lindsay, is there something I need to know? Did you lie on your W-4? Does Dustin know?
Doesn't it look like a baby face?
Yeah, there you go. Goodness gracious. So stop hiding behind the keyboard. Get on the phone and talk to people. It's needed. Mm-hmm. It's needed. And here we go. You ready for this? If you're actually talking to people, I guarantee you the amount of people that go, oh, I might have taken that the wrong way. Those kind of conversations will drastically reduce.
But how many people? This is a great. My question.
We're at 31 minutes. I'm gonna give you plus four. Plus four.
Is, how many times do you have that where you're taking something the wrong way or somebody took it the wrong way and they don't resolve it and it just gets buried inside, right? And then it just adds fuel to the fire and then you have this bigger blowout later
because of a text message.
Never happens to me ever.
I have witnessed this. And you know, it's not like I've witnessed this in like I've witnessed this recently, where a text message that was taken the wrong way, that was let to fester for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because the text message was said about halfway through 2021.
5 months?
5 months.
Stop
this
it.
text message festered, and over the holidays, it got brought out, and I'm like. Like, I'm hearing the conversation. I'm not part of the conversation, but I'm hearing the conversation. And I'm like, that was 5 months ago. You let 5 months of this buildup that you took the wrong way because you read it through your voice. You read it through your voice, and your voice is, this person's default voice is negative, okay? And it was meant to be taken in a very positive. It was meant to be taken in a very, hey, let me help you move forward way. But this person took it as a, oh, I'm growling at you way,
right? And
you held on to it for 5 months, and after some family time, you decided that here's where you're going to let this blow up. Like, you could have taken 30 seconds, gotten on the phone, and said, "Hey, did you mean to take?" There's nothing wrong with you asking.
Starting a conversation,
hey, I
usually helps people.
Yes.
Understand where, what their situation is.
So
just
here we
being
go.
Like, hey, let's just chat.
Let's just chat, right? Here we go. Ready? So a book that I read. I know. Here we go. Back to books again, right? They talk about the 5 whys. The 5 whys. Parents get so frustrated when kids ask why. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to ask why 5 times. Because it normally takes up to 5 whys to get down to the real root of the issue. Normally the reason that someone got angry about a text message or that got angry or frustrated about whatever happened, that's only at the surface. And it takes about 5 whys to get down to the real root of the problem. And you want to know what? 90, well, let's go with 85. 85% of the time, the reason that started the whole growliness has nothing to do with the root cause.
Oh,
nothing.
You're only giving 85% of that?
I'm being gracious today. You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah, I agree.
So, stop texting. Get on the phone. And even better, person. Right? Do a little FaceTime. I mean, goodness gracious, technology's made it so simple. FaceTime, Teams, Zoom.
Facebook,
right? You have a little camera on Facebook now.
Yep.
Okay. You can do this, and you can connect with people.
Bringing iPhone and Android together.
What is this Android product you talk about? I have no idea. I think you're making this up now.
I have family members that are not in the same system as me.
Right.
And so FaceTiming or video chatting is difficult.
But Facebook fixes it.
Way
there you go.
Facebook.
Thank you, Facebook. We love you. We love you, Meta. We love you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got some really good pieces, really good golden nuggets today. Hey, guess what? if you're going to come be a guest in 2022, we're no longer just on Facebook. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and I have it confirmed. We're on Instagram TV or Instagram Live as well. This is going to be,
exciting.
We're going to be taking this to a whole new level. The show's going to grow, and we want more guests. We want more guests, and here we go, right? I want more guests, and the reason for that, you're probably going like, what are you doing, Nick? I'm trying to do this little split screen again. And the reason for that is there are so many great people. And we want you to come share your story. We want to come share your greatness, your 1% with online with the community, because people need to hear it. Yes, my voice is awesome. I know that. Okay. And yes, I bring a lot of great stuff to the table. And yes, Lindsay is amazing. And she brings a lot of great stuff, a lot of great thoughts and ideologies and just her personality to the table. But we need more. We need more of you. Okay. And the world needs more of you, because we need to be sharing this positive. We need to be sharing this knowledge.
Yes.
Because it's not being taught in schools. It's not being taught in college. It's honestly, you're not going to get this knowledge unless you're part of some kind of a mastermind.
Right. Come join our community for free and be a mastermind.
There you go. There you go. Gary, I think we need to create our own mastermind, but just like online and interviewing people and having fun on camera. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Cookies.
Yes, thanks for being here.
I'm going to let you say goodbye first.
Oh, well, hey, just know that we pray for you every day. We're praying positive over you. So make sure you like and comment so that we can lift you up and just keep you in our thoughts. So don't forget to rise up
and crush it. Bye y'all.